Welcome, everybody, to the 3G Fitness Podcast. Today, we're here to introduce ourselves. Uh, what the podcast is about, actually, is about fitness, every areas of fitness, from training to lifting to powerlifting, bodybuilding, nutrition. And what we have here on the table are three gentlemen coming from three different generations. So we decided to name ourselves the 3Gs, the three generations of fitness. So what we're going to do is introduce ourselves, and we're going to start off with the young gun first, the Generation Z, Kyle.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Kyle. I've been a trainer for 3 years, been a certified personal trainer through National Academy of Sports Medicine. Little background about myself is I became a trainer when COVID first happened, and before that I was really just a hooper that turned into a gym rat. My approach to training, I would say it's a very calm, playful, positively reinforced approach, right? I'm not like a football coach. I'll just be yelling in your ears and, very aggressive and loud, but I will get the message across. Let's see, for most people, trying to achieve their goals, working out consistently, and being put outside of the comfort zone is a very scary and foreign feeling. So I really try to make that environment like very welcoming and safe as possible for them to be discover their abilities, right? They don't know much about, or yeah. I'm also a very science-based evidence trainer with a little bit of bro science in there just from my bodybuilding experiences. I'm a firm believer in really trying to figure out the perfect way of training for your specific body type. If you find it, stick with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I'm just trying to spread positivity through the gym. The gym is like a very, I think, foundational pillar to anybody's success. So if you're getting your body right, you can get your mind right, and you'll just open up more opportunities for yourself.
Nice. And
That's me.
All right, man.
Kaya.
you said you started how long ago?
3 years ago, I started off at 24 Hour Fitness, and then I went to a private gym 2 years after that, a couple of years after that.
Nice. And when you got your foot into the fitness industry, were you already studying like kinesiology or something?
Yeah, I was. I was originally trying to be a physical therapist. And before that, obviously, I didn't have really a direction in my life. I was just a gym rat. But what made me want to become a physical therapist was I messed up my shoulder. And then I just naturally delved into like the injury part of fitness and everything. But then it got hard to pursue that because of COVID. And then so I just became certified because everybody would always ask me like, oh, you should be a trainer, man. Because they'd always ask me for advice, and I'll just naturally give them a whole TED talk because I'm so passionate about it. And then, yeah.
Nice. Wait, when you got hired at 24, were you like the receptionist, the salesperson, or were you straight into the training?
I was front desk first, front desk / sales. But I knew that I was going to be a trainer eventually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where were you going to school to study, if you don't mind me asking?
Went to Cal State Fullerton for a little bit, and then went down and went to Golden West College. Played a little bit of basketball there. I got hired. I had a basketball class, and then the basketball coach was like, "Yo, you're pretty good. You want to be on the team?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm down."
Like, look at this baller, shock collar, 24A.
Exactly. But that's me.
Book knowledge and everything.
Hell yeah.
How old are you?
I am 26 years old.
Bro, man, I can't even remember when I was that young.
That was just like, what, a couple years ago?
Long time ago for you.
A long time, a real long time ago and stuff. And so is this a passion for you now?
Oh, most definitely. 100%. I always knew growing up that I had a passion for helping people. I was always that type to just kind of do things for other people. Let's say like one of the homies are stuck stranded somewhere, and it never was a problem for me to just like stop what I was doing and do something for other people. So that and on top of like being passionate with fitness already, just kind of made sense for me to be a personal trainer.
You know, I'd be checking you out at the gym, watching you train. You know,
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
checking
What do you think about it?
man? You're a cool trainer, man. I be looking at on that. I be like, just try it all out, man. That's why I started.
Wait. Cool as in what? Like the fit?
Well, yeah. What do you mean by cool?
Fit
Like,
or
what do you
like
mean?
because
Your
you're cooler than me in the fits.
No. Your style. You just be like chilling, man. You know,
what's
You're
up?
like, man. I go check him out, man. He's just like. Sometimes you got that stick. You be like leaning on that stick, and I'm like,
That's true.
man, check
I like
it
holding
out,
sticks.
You know? Yeah, I'm like,
Pause.
But like, pause, exactly. But like I said, man, that's just like the way I go about training is very calm and relaxed. But I get the message across. Like if I have to get deep with someone, I'll get deep with someone.
And so you've been training for 3 years. Let me ask you this: how have you feel your style has progressed in being a trainer from day one to current day today?
Well, when I started off at 24 Hour Fitness, the biggest struggle for me was I didn't really have much mentors around me, other trainers. Like I think I was really the only trainer there at 24, so it was hard for me to learn certain things, and I had to just learn everything by myself. But I was very unorganized in the beginning, but now for sure everything's about like systemized approach and just organized with everything basically.
Organization's a
Organization,
good thing. That's a big
100%.
thing.
Yeah.
well, that was a really good intro there.
Thank you.
man. I learned
Thank you.
something-
Yeah.
learned a little bit more.
And
about
you guys will learn more about me as we progress in this podcast, and so is everything else. So.
Now we're gonna move on to the next generation. I've been waiting to hear for this one. I've been waiting to hear on this one. All right.
Yeah,
We're gonna go to
San Francisco.
San Francisco, California, baby, going up north.
Francisco. We all call Cisco.
Cisco.
Yes.
So my
Drum
name is
roll.
Francisco, most commonly known as Cisco. I represent the Millennial generation. So been doing this gig for a little over 15 years now. Just like Kyle, I was a gym rat growing up. Something that I always would be. I would always find myself at the gym. Played high school basketball. And then as I graduated, I went to Cal Poly Pomona
I
for...
didn't know you were a hooper.
Oh, yeah. I was
You gotta hoop sometime.
Man, not anymore. So I went to Cal Poly Pomona for computer electrical engineering. I know, right? And my first, you give me that look like, what? My first 2 years of being an engineer, I just already knew that wasn't for me. And by the time I turned 20 years old, I became a personal trainer at 24 Hour Fitness. From there, moved my way up. I went straight into training. Moved my way up in the company. After about 5 years, I got promoted to fitness manager. Went from one club to multiple clubs. Was with that company for about 13 years, and it taught me a lot of things, gave me a lot of hands-on training. The great thing about working with a corporate gym like that, it forced you to keep recertifying. So throughout every 2 to 4 years, I kept recertifying in different certs. So I got certifications in NASM, NESTA, ISSA, NCSF, and just making sure it was always learning something new and always applying what I learned to clients. And so the beauty of that was it really helped me advance my stages of being a personal trainer, and also taught me a lot of things too. So after that, I left the corporate world. Then I decided to go independent. That's where we all met. We all work together at a private gym right now. And from then on, it's just been promoting my business, working one-on-ones, partner training, just making sure to always help people as much as I can. I love the business. The business has been nothing but great to me. You know, I had some low times in my life where this got me out of my slump, helped me out, got me to be the person that I am today, really got me out of my shell. You know, there was at one point I was a little shy in my life. Yeah, I know, believe it or not. So, but then this job really made you get out of your comfort zone, and you either adapt or you don't. And I learned how to adapt as the ways with clients, with fellow trainers to learn. And honestly, I mean, just being around and applying everything I learned to different sets of clientele has been something that I truly, truly love. And I see myself just growing in this industry. So that's a brief introduction to Cisco. the Millennial.
Okay.
Hey, why do you think that is that the industry just helped you be more confident? Like, how did it help you not become shy?
Well, it takes you out of your shell because you work with so many different type of clientele.
So it just forces you to be with people.
Yeah, it forces you to be with people. But I remember unlike you, where you said you got into the industry and you didn't have any mentors, I had mentors right away. And one of the most important advice that I think I got from a mentor that I've always shared is you need to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Nice.
And
Yep.
it's crazy as the older the older I've gotten, I've seen so many, entrepreneurs talk about that in general, not even just fitness people, just people that are very successful have always mentioned that you want to make sure you're comfortable being uncomfortable. So, I mean, I remember one time when I was trying to get clients, they literally was all like, "Hey, Cisco, what are you doing for the next hour?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm free." "All right, cool. We want you to go inside the Zumba class." I'm all like, "Well, what?" They're all like, "You're on the clock. You're going to go inside the Zumba class, and we want you to encourage and just be a cheerleader." I was all like, "In Zumba?" They're all like, yeah, like, they're all like, and then my manager was all like, "But I don't want you to leave until you can book 2 appointments for the week. Go in there, encourage, get names. I want you to get 5 names, and out of the 5 names, I want you to book 2 future appointments for an assessment with yourself." And it was the most uncomfortable thing. I was only 20 years old. It wasn't like, you told me to take Zumba right now. I'm in there, I'm dancing, I'm enjoying a good time. But at the age of 20, when all I used to do was just lift weights, and Zumba was looked at like the class where it's like, "Are you gonna send me in there with all those ladies?" And I was like, I don't even train ladies. I was like, and that's literally how I started. He literally threw me in there. I booked some appointments, got some clients out of it, and that literally made me get out of my my comfort shell pretty much, and like kind of really pushed me like, man, if I can do that, I can go over there and talk to that person on the treadmill, or I can go over there and talk to the person on the bench. It just really pushed me to kind of be more out there and just realize that this industry is also more of a people-based industry. You got to get in front of people. You got to work with people. And one of those things that, yes, it's fitness, yes, it's science, but not if you can't work with the individual in front of you, if you can't adapt to the individual in front of you, then you're not going to be successful, because everybody is going to be very different on how they approach the science aspect of it.
So, right.
So,
I got a question. I have to ask you this question.
okay. Ask away.
I'm gonna ask. So, what did you do before?
Before? Like, what do you mean? Like,
Before
what?
you started training.
Before I started training?
Yeah. What did you do? I mean,
I was a student. Oh, you mean job-wise?
Yeah.
Oh.
you had to earn a living.
I did earn a living. I was only like 18, 19. I worked at Disneyland California Adventure.
Nice.
See?
And
That's a big company.
I gotta ask you a question. You never said, what did you do as a job before you became a trainer?
Let's see. My first job was a bagger at Stater Brothers.
What?
A bagger, like a
like
Bag boy?
bag boy. Yeah, and then I worked at Jimmy John's
And that, but see, that's
food industry.
Yeah,
That's my point.
and that was a
You know-
dishwasher. At Disneyland California
Oh, yeah.
Adventure, I was there washing
You know?
dishes.
But I was fit. I bet you were fit too.
Yeah, I
You're
actually was fit. I was a
dishwasher. Yes,
fit dishwasher.
exactly.
And they loved me, man. They
100%.
loved me. They're all like, I even know when the head chef would be that I was one of the dishwashers, like, Cisco's working today. We're going to get our plates clean and everything right on time. We're not going to have
Massive
any
arm
backup.
pump, just like
I was a favorite of the kitchen.
Now, that's when you had long hair. Huh?
Yeah, I did have long hair too. I did have longer hair.
So you wore a hairnet.
Yes, I was forced to wear a hair. Yeah.
Did you have your braids at the time?
No, shut up. No, I was a one-time
Gotta
phase.
pull that up for everybody later on.
But I did have longer hair there. I did have to wear a hairnet. But, after I got done washing dishes, I would go to the gym, midnight, pump iron, go to sleep.
Hell yeah.
And that's how I was, like, pretty much in my late teens.
That's life.
You guys talked about what, as a trainer, but you guys did something before that.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Well,
My point on that is that, whatever you're doing before that, you can say, okay, hey, I want to try personal training out and get the credentials you need.
Yeah. Well, you know what was funny? I never pursued training with the idea of it being a career. I just hated being a dishwasher. And at the time, the fitness manager at a 24-hour fitness that I was going to, he knew me. He was my trainer when I was 16 years old. He approached me. He's like, man, you're at the gym all day. Like, if you're not here, you're at work. If you're at work, you're over here. Why don't you just become a trainer? And I was all like, I don't even have the credentials. He's like, don't worry. We'll send you to a class. You're going to go to a class for a week. From there, you pass the test, you're a trainer. Bet. I was like, all right, let's do this. So I did it, and I just wanted to get out of being a dishwasher. And then I was like, all right, cool. I have a better part-time job being a trainer. Because like I said, at the time, I was still going to school at Cal Poly Pomona for engineering. Engineering was actually going to be my idea. But, man, once I found out what engineering really was, I was like, that ain't for me, man. So I was all like...
I have a question, though. Because for all trainers, pretty much, like, the first couple of years of your career is probably the hardest, right? And there's a big turnover rate for personal trainers.
Oh, yeah.
At what point did you realize, like, you know what, this is meant for me, and I can stick with this long term?
At what point?
Yeah.
Is when I had a general manager at the time, and he noticed I was going to school Tuesdays and Thursdays all day, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays I was being a trainer. And he saw me, and he pulled me to the side, and he was like, Cisco, look, I understand you're going to school to become an engineer, but I'm going to be very honest with you. You don't seem like an engineer to me. I was all like, and I didn't know what to mean by that, but he's like, don't take this the wrong way. You're a great trainer. You're putting up numbers that these full-time trainers are struggling to put up. And you're only here 4 days. Imagine if you added those 2 days. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's all like, look, I'm not telling you what to do, but you have 1 foot in training and 1 foot in engineering. And then he told me, you could make a career out of being a trainer. You could make a career with this. And then I pulled him even more to the side, and I'm all like, well, let's talk finances. Can I make this much a year being a trainer? He's like, yes. Can I make this much more? Can I make, and then finally, once he hit a number, and I'm like, all right, let me
sold.
think. Yeah,
like,
I'm sold. I'm all like,
okay.
because I'm not gonna lie, like being a trainer at the time, it wasn't really difficult. I was enjoying it. I was having fun. I was with people, and it was a fun job.
Okay.
And I wasn't responsible, so I didn't care about the money at the time. And it wasn't until like me and my mom had a fallout and I had to leave the house, and it was just one of those where it's like, okay, maybe I need that money. Maybe I do need that money and whatnot. So then once I was in that position in my life, then I just became full-time, and then I started realizing like financially I'm doing well, mentally I'm doing well, physically I'm doing well. This is a win-win situation, and I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Trust me. It wasn't like, oh, I became a trainer and it probably took me about a year to finally have consistency in clients.
Yeah.
And then finally from then on, it was like, all right, after about like 4 years of being part-time, then I became full-time. Then that's when I was just like,
Oh, you're doing part-time for 4 years.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, I went to Cal Poly for a while. And then I switched to kinesiology for a year. Then I went undeclared because I was all like, do I want to be a physical therapist? Because that's kind of like the route I was going as well too.
For most kinesiologists, yeah.
But I was just like, I don't like, I like what I'm doing. I like working with people that, come with different aspects. I like people that are coming in with injuries. I like people that are coming in with different goals. I don't want to be limited to just physical therapy as well too. So it was just, I was at a great place in my life, and I was blessed to be at a place where, all right, let me stick here. And literally once I became full-time, that's when the career took off, man. I got promoted, promoted to bigger clubs. And so it took me a while, but it was just somewhere like I feel probably after 4 years, I realized I could really make this a career.
Nice. Hell yeah. That's dope.
Like I was saying, I've been at the gym. I've been at the gym longer than both of these guys.
Now. Now. As the guy that's been introducing everybody, we're gonna now get going with
Let me say one thing.
Say one thing.
Drum roll, please.
I've probably been at the gym longer than both of these guys, and I look at other trainers, and let me tell you something about Cisco. I gotta say this, okay?
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I've seen a lot of trainers, in my time, and a trainer usually a person that just like stands next to their client, trains them, does whatever they want to do, And one day I was sitting way in the back of the gym, and there's some music playing in there. All of a sudden, I hear this singing, and I look down, I see this dancing. I look over there, this guy's sitting there dancing with the music, with his client. His client's up there dancing with him. I'm like, man, I've never seen this before. I mean, I was like, this is the first, and he has that excitement, and he makes his clients feel he makes his clients feel good. And whenever you get a client to work out and to dance with you, you're doing your job.
That's why Disco Cisco.
That's all I got.
That's why Disco Cisco was a legit name tag I had.
That's the name. I was wondering, why is it Disco Cisco? And I kept thinking about it, and then I saw him, and I put it two together. I said, oh, that's why they call him Disco Cisco.
Yeah, it's like going back to what Kyle says. When you're working with a client, you want your clients to be comfortable and having a good time as well too. So, and I appreciate that. See, I'm glad I was the first for you, because now we're gonna get started, because like you got a lot of history to go in. So let's go into the baby boomer of the generation.
Baby
Coach
boomer,
Michael.
The baby boomer is me. I started lifting or working out probably 50 years ago. I'm 66. Oof. And I'm going to sit here and say, training and working out is a passion to me. I was a gym rat at a young age, and I love it. And I've been doing it for 50 years.
Wow.
Even when times are hard, I'd go out and get a job, but I'd keep lifting and keep working out. But I started when I was like 13 or 14. My dad bought me my first little plastic weight set, because I used to sit in the mirror posing, when I was a little kid, because I just had all these idols that I looked up to, Arnold,
Hell yeah.
Lou Ferrigno,
Nice.
Frank Zane, all these, Bobby Robinson,
All these bodybuilders, right?
Yeah, I just, and I always told him, so I want to be that. And my dad said, you want to be that, you got to work out in the gym, you got to work out, So I started working out on the patio, and then from there I went to my first gym when I was 15. Walked in, looked around, and seen all these monsters, because it was like a backyard gym.
How about roughly? You said about 15. What year was that?
70, I don't know, probably around 76, 77, around there.
Okay.
So I started working out over there, and I decided, I want to be a bodybuilder. So I met this guy who was a mentor to me, huge guy, and he told me, he goes, I work for the city of San Diego as a garbage man, and I was like, man, I saw a guy like him one day, picking up trash cans, and I was like, wow, a guy picks up trash cans with one arm, flips it over, and I was like, wow, and I thought about it, and I go, asked him what his route is. He told me, and I said, hey, I see you on the back of the garbage truck, and he goes, yeah, he goes, that's me, and the guy had like 23-inch arms, when I was a kid, and I was like just totally stunned. And he told me, he goes, young buck, let me tell you something. He goes, there's 3 things that you need to remember in the gym. Okay? He goes, you got to lift strong, you got to be strong, and you have to be consistent. Always remember, it could be your worst day of the month, of the year, whatever, but remember one thing. On your worst day is better than no day. Always remember that. So I've always remembered that. I've always taken that with me. And then I just decided, I had to enter my first contest in 78, San Diego Muscle Classic. I didn't place. It was my first one. I really did terrible on my floor exercise. Right, wow. But then I went back and I practiced, and I entered it the 79. I placed fourth, so I'm getting better.
Progress.
Getting better. Then I entered the San Pedro. After I had decided to move to LA, I moved to LA and I entered the San Pedro, and I placed second. So I figured, oh wow, I'm getting better, But the point is that if you train and you work hard and you're consistent, you're gonna get big and you're gonna get strong. So from that point on, I had jobs. Like you guys said, you guys had jobs, right?
Yeah.
I said, I think my first job I worked for Taco Bell.
Nice.
Food industry, man.
Yeah, everyone's kind of involved in the food
Everybody,
industry
yeah.
over here.
Yeah, I worked for Taco for 1 week and we got robbed.
Oh, Jesus. That's wild. That's wild.
Your first week at Taco Bell, you got robbed.
First week, I walked up to the window, stuck the gun in the thing, said, give me your money. I'm like, oh man,
On you?
Like, I don't have any loyalty. I don't have no true loyalty.
There were like two other people in there, but I was on the cash register.
Jeez.
And I'm listening, and he just gave me this whole story about he just had a baby and he needed
Oh, dang.
and
That sucks.
so I just took the whole cash register drawer out and I just handed it to him,
Take it. You get fired for that?
And the worst part about it, he told me he told one guy to go open the back door, and the guy went open the back door, and another guy came in and took all the meat.
Oh, my God.
Took all the meat
Man.
out, all the taco meat out.
I bet your coworker as a manager was like, this Mike is bad luck.
Yes. Like, he asked me, he goes, hey, you didn't have anything to do with it, did you? I don't know.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, then I quit, and that's when I quit. And,
Oh, of course.
my dad said, hey,
For sure.
That's when you knew Taco Bell wasn't for you.
I said, I think you better quit, so I quit. And then later on, I decided, I'm going to move to LA, And he said, yeah, you want to move to LA? But I did. And I've been here ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here since. I was a personal trainer at different gyms. I actually worked for like a corporate one with Bally's.
Oh, okay.
And then 24 Fitness bought them out. And I remember that they said, well, you got to have certification. And that's when NASM came out. It was just coming out. Mm-hmm. And I didn't take no certification. I didn't want to, and I kept pushing it off. And they finally told you don't take certification, we're going to let you go. So I went and took it. And I think I failed the first time, failed the second time.
So you were working as a trainer already?
Yeah.
But they wanted you to
Yeah,
get your
yeah,
certification
that
to
was,
keep
Because I think when I got hired as a trainer, they would send you to go get certified and you would get paid for it.
Right.
When you got hired as a trainer, as a newer generation, you already needed that before.
Yeah.
When he got hired, if he looked the part, they probably
I got a job.
yeah, literally.
Because my first job was with Jacqueline in San Diego, Jacqueline Health Spa. And
Yeah.
I think it was in 70. I think it was like 77 or something like that. I worked for Jacqueline. We wore a blue smock and black pair of pants, and they look at you. Oh, you know how to work out. Oh, okay. They hired you. You just worked out over there. But we did a lot of other things. We worked the front desk. We cleaned the bathrooms.
Right.
We did all that stuff. That was my actual first job. But then when I moved to LA, I worked at different gyms, around, and then everybody talked about how great it was working for like LA Fitness,
Bally's.
big corporate gyms.
24-hour Fitness.
Yeah.
I did, and when 24-hour Fitness took off, they had a pay structure, and it wasn't. The pay structure was, you get, I think at that time it was like $15 for every customer you got, every client you got. And then I was talking to a client one time, and he was telling me, he goes, I paid $800 for personal training. And I'm taking the numbers. I'm like, wow, man. I go, how they got $15 to train you?
That's corporate gyms.
And so I ended up quitting.
Yeah.
And quitting, and at that time I was doing carpentry and stuff. So I was a carpenter, but I was still in the gym.
Okay.
I worked. I go to the gym and train. Did competitions here in LA.
Bodybuilding still? Bodybuilding. Okay.
I did. I think Culver City. I did Inglewood a few times. I did L.A. You know, but
But you wouldn't consider yourself a bodybuilder anymore, right? You're a powerlifter now?
well, I'm a powerlifter now.
Yeah.
You know, I went into powerlifting after I don't know, probably around actually close to 8 years ago. I did. Some guy told me when I was working for another gym, told me, "Hey, you know about being a powerlifter?" I go, "I'm old, man." He says, "Oh, you know, there's like the masters and this and that." And he goes, "How old are you?" I said, "I'm like 56." A lot of the masters, do that, So I got into it. But see, my biggest thing is this, and this is what I found out. I think you can agree with that, Cisco. I didn't have a coach trainer.
Uh-huh.
I did everything on my own. And when you do that, it's really hard to get a good program. And even in bodybuilding, I feel if I would have had that, I would have did better because I didn't know a lot.
So you never had a coach when you were bodybuilding?
No,
It was just
it
by
mattered-
yourself.
and I'm not gonna lie, I used roids.
Well, that's what everybody was doing.
Yeah,
so,
back then because it wasn't illegal, but you need to know how to do it. And I remember I got a doctor who showed me, how to inject and all that. But when you're doing your cycles, it's a lot more complicated than people think when you start stacking and all
Oh,
that.
for sure. Yeah.
And so I
Talk about your hormones here.
yeah, and it wasn't as easy as it is now to get a coach trainer because I think a lot of people will say, "I'm a coach, I'm a trainer,"
Well, they're like I said, I think it's also the times. When you were doing all of that, there probably wasn't really like you guys were self-taught.
Well,
I feel like that. Like I think even Arnold, when you see documentaries of Arnold, it looks like he's more self-taught. Like he would just kind of.
no, Arnold was he was sponsored by
Oh.
Joe Weider, and he had a trainer. They all did. They all had coaches.
Yeah, yeah.
And they all had trainers.
Okay.
It used to be at the Gold's Gym over in Venice Beach, and that's where they used to all go and train at.
And so you were competing against that without a trainer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was competing without one. I was learning my floor routine from friends and things like that.
Got it. Okay.
So, we weren't at that level of bodybuilding. We're in the amateur rankings still, But then in at that time there were different classes to where now there's more just short class, tall class.
Yeah.
But back in my time there was a classic, there's tall, heavy, big, all that. So it's changed now. The IFBB has now taken over and they control it now and stuff to where back then it wasn't controlled by one sanction. They were just putting on competitions and there's just like one professional bodybuilding association. Now it's a little bit different, and I powerlifting is a little different too. I think powerlifting you can train yourself because there's not like something as difficult as a floor routine. Where you need the movement, steps, and all that. Powerlifting is more on, as you know, on technique
Yeah.
and form, and you can get certified to do that, and especially if you're already doing it, it's a little bit easier. So powerlifting, I was in a division that was pretty easy because in the masters, there's not a lot of competition until you get to the nationals. You'll run up to competition. But outside of that, there's really not.
Well, that's crazy. So your first power lift competition was at the age of 56?
Yeah, at Venice Beach.
Venice Beach. Man, 56. First time doing that.
Yeah,
True testament that it's never too late, right?
it's never too late to do
Anything.
compete. It's not because there's so many different classes,
Yes, there is.
and you're not gonna compete against somebody that's like someone your age or someone your age. I'll compete against a guy that's my age. Like, I can actually compete right now if I wanted to. I'd probably win.
Yeah.
Because there's just not a lot of people in
in your
my
age.
age bracket,
Yeah.
And plus, you see these arms right here?
So, and I can still,
Crazy.
I can still lift heavy. I can still
Yeah.
do a lot of things, can I, Cisco?
Damn.
Yeah, you can. I got a
Sorry,
video.
that sounded
I
personal.
got it. I'll show you once we're done. We're gonna wrap it up right now, but I got a video I might post up on my Instagram showing off the 66-year-old strength.
Yeah.
Was that from yesterday?
Yeah,
The pull-ups?
Yeah, he did some pull-ups. Yeah, watch. I'll show you in a bit. Let's wrap this up, man.
All right, so this is our first episode. It's an introduction of all three of us, and we definitely feel like we're gonna have a lot more.
Way
because
more.
there's just
Way more.
so much more to talk about in fitness.
Yeah.
Just not lifting, but everything from cross training to cardio training to plyometrics to athletic training.
Different
and we're
sports, different lifestyles.
Psychology.
And we're going to have people in, we're going to interview people. We're going to interview bodybuilders, powerlifters, doctors, coaches, and trainees. What's the difference between a coach and a trainer? Personal trainers, athletes of different sports. Because I feel, when you're doing fitness, you can train any sport that you're going to take on.
Yeah. So we pretty much
The list goes
got a
on.
list of everything. Clients give us ideas of what to talk about. That we will make it a lot more relatable to the common ears that will be listening to our voices.
All right, so
On the next episode, what are we talking about?
on the next episode, this is a good one. We're going to talk about
New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution
Coming into 2024.
how you're going to keep them, why you don't keep them, why do you do them, why do you commit to them,
Yep.
and
Probably give you guys some tips.
Yeah.
so many different.
Talk about our resolutions ourselves.
Because I think we all have resolutions
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
stuff. So
And if you don't, maybe you should.
So this was a good conversation, good introduction here, and I hope everybody enjoyed this one. And we definitely hope to see you and hear from you in the next episode and in the future. So
Yes, sir.
we're gonna say bye.
Have a good one, you guys.
Peace out.
All right.
Take it
Later.
easy.